Welcome everybody. We're doing a little ice fishing today, as you can see. So we're gonna run down some schools of crappies. First, we're gonna start off on how I break down a bigger lake like this. Today we're on a big lake around Alexandria, Minnesota. There's a few people out on the lake today. So we're gonna get away from the crowd, explain why it's important to be away from the crowd, explain how we're gonna run down these crappies. We're gonna do a little gear breakdown today. So we found this little school on live scope. They're about 50 to 60 feet out right now off the end of this pole. We're gonna tighten that up. Let's see if we can't snipe a couple of these. Oh yeah. All right. 60 feet. Okay, drilled a couple holes. We got on the school. I'm marking them on the Vexilar. So chartreuse 16th ounce pinhead. We're gonna see if there's crappies here and if they're aggressive. So right now we got down to the school. We're gonna jig it right above them and see what happens. Got a couple looking. Oh, this one's coming up. Boom. Drag's loose. Feels a little smaller. But it's what we're looking for. Boom. 12-inch crappie, look at that. Bit the chartreuse pinhead pro. It's the jointed one. So a lot of time I'm using no bait right now. A lot of times these pinheads with this little blade you can see, that acts as kind of a little bait fish, and it works just fine to catch them. The school's kind of moving on me now. We're gonna start keeping some fish today, so we're gonna bring home some dinner. I got a couple marks still down there. Like I said, we're in 30 feet of water, so this is deep. Look at these, beautiful. At 20 feet, so they moved a little bit on me. It is an absolutely gorgeous day out. It's 20 degrees. There's no wind. Perfect fish catching conditions. All right, these fish are getting a little jumpy. A little pressured out here. I shouldn't say that because there's not a person around for a mile straight on this nice big lake. But I found them right under the live scope hole. So holes that are always already drilled are always key. These fish have moved back to the hole we were just in. They're running around a little bit, which is pretty normal. There's not a whole lot of snow cover on the lake. As you can see, there's a lot of bald spots. These fish, they don't seem super aggressive yet, but I'm getting a few of them to chase. Ooh, man, there we go. Yep, okay. So we got an aggressive one on the top of school, nicer mark. Let's see if he'll chase me back up. I didn't think you could see that blade earlier. That's the pinhead. This blade is what I'm talking about here, where you don't need bait a whole lot of the time. I see people asking all the time why you don't clean the holes out when you're doing this. I like to say it's just because of mobility and having the ability to be faster and more mobile. Hooked up on another one out here. Let's see what we got. Oh, another beauty. See, now that is like a 14-inch crappie. So the big ones like this, they swim. Okay, so a little bit of what I'm seeing right now. If you can't tell, there's still that little school over there. 50 feet. My two holes, of course, are at 40 and 60. You can see that one at 40, which they're starting to come under a little bit. And then my Vexilar's dropped in this one here at 60. We're in 34.5 feet of water. As you can see, every time I fish crappies in a deep basin like this, just searching for them, they're suspended. You can see we're in 34.5 feet of water, and they're 3-4 feet off the bottom. These fish just aren't super aggressive, and I'll be able to get them to bite, but they're a little more tough. They're a little more finicky. I think the bait on the hook helped a little bit, but maybe we need that island size a little bit. We're hooked up on another one. We convinced them to bite finally. So we're making a little bit of changes. These fish, they like when I jig it super aggressively. Ooh, might be a better one. Oh yeah, look at that, just a beauty. 13-inch crappie there. Usually I like them 10 to 13.5, so we're gonna keep that one. That's usually the biggest I'll keep, so we're working away to a limit here. We got fish down there. They're hopefully gonna start to be a little more aggressive, and these are just some beautiful basin crappies, chasing them out of the schools. So here we go. We switched the presentation up a little bit, if you can see that. We got a Wonder Bread tungsten and a little orange plastic, clam plastic. School's still sticking around. We're gonna see if we can get some more of these, and maybe even a big one. Maybe we can catch 15 today. That would be sweet on video. Get down to the school and see how they react to this bait change. We downsized a little bit. Boom. Feels a little smaller. We'll find out. Boom. Another beauty. An 11-incher for the bucket that time. A gorgeous fish. Gorgeous. Look at that. Add them to the pile. If you want to check out these rods I'm using, we got the Sanford Performance 30-inch perch rod. This is a sponsor of mine. Very great backbone, and very nice light tip, as you can see. So I love this rod for tungsten jigs or the pinhead minnow. Fishing deeper water, get it down there quick, and it's a beautiful rod. It says my name. I got the clam reel on there, and it's a beautiful setup. So far I've loved it. This reel slips a little bit. Line doesn't always get caught in the guide there, but the rod is amazing, and they're ultra light. So far I've been loving the setup. These fish I'm seeing are 2 to 4 feet suspended above the bottom, so they're a lot easier to scope them out. Here we got a couple coming up to me here. Ooh, come on now. And get him to bite again. Some beautiful quality fish though. They're really thick out here, and they're lengthy, so I'm just trying to get a 15 here. Boom. That's how you do it right there. This feels like a nicer fish. He's got some head shakes down. Look like a big mark. Here he comes. See if we can get him turned up this hole. Oh, dude, that is a dandy. Wow, look at that thick fish. Just a giant. Oh man, that is a girthy fish right there. That's what we came out here for. Now he has got some shoulders on him. That's a 14.5-inch crappie, easily. That is a gorgeous fish. Boom. Another decent fish, it feels like. Here he comes. Oh yeah. Another beautiful crappie. Wonder Bread tungsten, a little orange teaser tail plastic, and boom, like that, we're adding to the pile. So, as you can see, a little rundown. It's beautiful out here, but there's nobody within at least a half a mile of me. So a lot of the times when you're able to get away from the crowd, that's when you're gonna have your most success. So we're out in this deep basin. We're chasing around these schools of crappies, as you can see on the live scope right there. Those are nice fish. You can see one of my holes at 40 there, and there's one at 60 as well. They're kind of moving back and forth, just down to here and then down to there, and they hit every hole that I've drilled in between, kind of just going back and forth. And when they do that, I'm able to come back to live scope and see which hole they're in and pick a couple of them off. But I always hate fishing the crowd. So a lot of times once the crowd's there already, that's when the fishing has slowed down. It's not going to be as good. It's not going to be as productive. Fishing the crowd, you can catch a couple fish. Usually they're super finicky, and you never get on these nice aggressive bites, which is what I absolutely love. So if you can find a couple fish away from the crowd, usually once you get on top of them, you're able to catch a couple fish, and they tend to be a lot more aggressive. So with that being said, let's get back down there and catch a couple more. So a lot of times if you're right on them and you don't have to pop more holes, don't. You risk these fish getting a little more educated, and when they do, they get more spooky. So they start moving a little bit more, which is what's going on right now. Before my bait even gets down there, most all of these fish are going to be gone. But from what I already know, they're running kind of this line up and down these holes I have drilled. They're not roaming far, which I like, because you don't gotta chase them for 100 yards, and it's a lot easier this way. He was pretty aggressive. Here he comes. Boom. It's like another nice fish. There he is, wrapped up in the deucer a little bit. Another beauty. We're doing pretty decent out of this first school of fish. I think we're pulling a few out. 5 from a limit. This is the first school. I think pretty soon here we're going to move spots and find another school. Hopefully get on a little bit bigger school, a little more aggressive. Another one. Look at another quality fish. There's some beauties out here. This feels like a little bit better one. It's got some weight behind him. Another cookie cutter 11. And like I said, I usually like to eat the 10 to 13s or 10 to 13 and a halves. So he's gonna be dinner too. If you would like to book a trip, come out here and try to catch some of these big crappies, you can DM my Instagram, Joey Fishes. I'm also a bass guy, so in the summer I like to bass fish, smallmouth and largemouth. Do a lot of tournament fishing, so stay tuned for that. And hit my DMs if you want to book a trip and come chase some of these beautiful crappies out here. Another taker. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. You gotta love that. You can't beat a good crappie bite. These fish, they're starting to get a little more lethargic. They kind of know the deal, You know what's going on? School's getting smaller and smaller every time I catch one. It's only about 60, 50, 60 fish in this school. So we're gonna try to find another one. And we'll see if those are a little more aggressive. No, that's a piggy of a crappie. Doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good. 14.5 inches. Going back. What a gorgeous fish. Crappie like that, I'm keeping today, but like that they go back. Beautiful. Gear breakdown. Okay, we got the Strike Master 40. Got a fish armor set up. This is brand new to me. The LVS 34. I'm loving this pole so far. It's been really good to me. We got the Fish Armor Extreme setup. Beautiful shuttle. PPF Outdoors. That's who put it together for me and sold it to me at a great price. So we've been popping some holes through this basin. I want you guys to check this out. We found a little school of crappies there, hopefully. We are gonna get the GoPro on and hopefully see if we can't catch a couple of these.